Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. So welcome to the ADGONOS official press release today. So it's really good to have you guys here. So let me introduce our honorary guests today. The first one is our founder, so Mr. Zhang Kaishan, and the second one is our co-founder. So I believe all of you want to know what they've got for us today. So let's invite our first speaker, Mr. Zhang Kaishan. Welcome.
Hi, I'm Zhang Kaishan, who is the founder of this ADGONOS system. And so first of all, ADGONOS is a blockchain system, and so we are going to introduce at first, like for those who don't know, what is blockchain? So basically, to put it in a nutshell, blockchain is just a series of connected data. It's like a data connected with another data, connected with another data, and we call this data blocks. So there's a block connected to another block, and it's chained together, so it's called blockchain. And it's immutable and distributed by design. So it basically means that once a data is published onto the chain, it's connected, you could never change that again. So that's basically why Bitcoin could function, because you cannot just Bitcoin is basically a chain of transactions, like A sent to B how much and B sent to C how much, and it's a chain of these collections. So you could not change that, because if you could change it, that means you could disrupt the whole system. So why is it so hard to hack Bitcoin? Because in order to hack Bitcoin, you have to gain power of the over 50% of the total computer network power of the entire Earth. You have to take control of over 50% in order to disrupt the functioning fundamentals of Bitcoin. And there are even, Bitcoin is just one of the many examples. There are even more secure protocols that require you to have 90%, even 100%, or in order for you to change that. So blockchain is basically a decentralized. It's basically in the past you entrust this kind of trust on a centralized organization, but in Bitcoin or in other cryptocurrencies or blockchain, this trust is distributed among all others. You are basically trusting the whole network with function. So it's hard to hack. And there are many examples of this kind of cryptocurrencies. You have all heard of it, like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin. These are all functioning on the lying principles I just mentioned. And there are many usages of blockchain other than currencies. You could use it for data storage, for example, and you could share it for sharing medical data, for sharing self-driving cars, because this is it's the most trustless and a decentralized trust consensus system. So with this system, everyone is willing to more collaborate with each other, because I could now transparently know you are sharing the real data with me, and I'm sharing the real data with you. So everyone could step forward together. And some even say that blockchain is the greatest innovation ever since human has discovered fire. Well, whether that's true, I'm not sure whether that's true or not, but really, blockchain is a really innovative technology that is going to change humankind forever. Yeah.
So, for the app developers, the most important thing is that to maximize the profit. Here comes the developer's dilemma: paid or free. So, if they charge the fees on customers, the customers will not download the app, so they cannot get money. But if the app is free, how can they make money? They have to apply the ad system. So maybe they have to go to find Google's or Apple's. Then Apple's will say that, oh, sure, you give me 40% of revenue. Then I'll apply the ad in your app. So that's a problem. They only get 60% of the revenue. This is the first problem. The second problem is that the app users will be seriously intimidated because of the poor user experience brought by the ad. So the users will install the app blockers. After installing the app blockers, the app developers' revenues further goes down. So we are trying to solve this kind of problem, and let's see how ADGONOS is going to deal with this. So, in ADGONOS systems, there are three parties. First is the desktop miners. The miners mine for ADG coins, and for each coins mined by the desktop miners, an additional 0.25 ADG coins will be generated in the mobile pool. So, app users and app developers, how can they generate the revenue? The app users provide the anonymous data to ADGONOS systems. Then they can get the ADG coins in exchange. And for app developers, they have to apply our ADGONOS frameworks. Then they can get the ADG coins, which can be sold in the exchange. So that's how their revenues come from. And they can also get the anonymous usage data from the app users for the improvement of their app, so they can even attract more users. So for the advantage of our systems is that, first, transparent data collection. So we promise that our data collection is anonymous and with transparent policies. So you don't need to worry about the shady data collection. And no ads for app users, so they can enjoy a better user experience, and they don't need to install the app blocker because no ads for them to block. And for app developers, they can even generate higher revenue. By our estimation, it is about 78% revenue increase for using our systems instead of the traditional mobile ad systems. And also, besides the revenue, besides using the ADG coins to exchange for cash, they can also use it as an in-app purchase with discount. So since using our ADG coins in-app do not cost any transaction fee, we do not imply any tariff for app users to buy things in any app. So app developers are willing to give the discount as they can get more money. They can get 100% of the revenue from the in-app purchase, and app users are willing to purchase the item because they can get discount. So this is how ADGONOS system work and the advantage of ADGONOS system.
So here we mentioned why we need blockchain, like the thing that I just talked about. Why do we need blockchain for the whole thing, for ADGONOS to function? So there are many ridiculous ICO projects going on right now that claims to use blockchain, but actually it's just a vaporware and just use blockchain for the sake of using blockchain. For example, I've seen a example of using blockchain to implement smart glasses. Like, why even use? You're just selling a smart glasses, all right? You're just putting Kickstarter onto the ICO market. Why are you even using blockchain? Some things just doesn't make sense. And I've seen lots of projects that use this kind of trickery, that uses just put the blockchain name in the title and says we are going to use blockchain. But all in all, it's just a vague implementation of blockchain. So here we provide the real reasons why ADGONOS is actually going to use blockchain. So first of all, we have to use proof of work from desktop mining. So for the third parties, the golden triangle we just talked about, the miners, the developers, and the app users. So for this thing to work, first the miners have to dig for our ADG coins. So in order for the proof of work to function, we have to use blockchain, because no one would know. Then no one would know and verify you have actually used your computational power to actually mine these coins. So we have to use blockchain for proof of work usage. And as an additional mention, because at first we think that proof of work is actually a thing that everyone could trust right now. We just look at Bitcoin, Ethereum. Ethereum is going to change to proof of stake, but they start from proof of work, because proof of work is a proven model that everyone is going to trust. Because it's a threshold there. You can't just print money. You have to donate a computational power to the whole network in order for Bitcoin to work. But some people have complaints that proof of work is a really big, devastating effect to the environment. So if our coin reaches a certain amount of recognition and consensus, we may change to other proof of systems. But at the start, because in order to gain trust in our currency, we will have to implement proof of work. And due to proof of work, we have to use blockchain. And why? Furthermore, we provide two other reasons why we will use blockchain. Because first of all, it's a decentralized trust and verifiable from all ends. We are just a small company. Why you are going to trust us with your money? Why developers are going to trust us with their apps implementing our SDKs? Why are they going to trust us? It's also because of blockchain. Because they could actually verify we only take 1% of the mobile reward pool, and they take 80%, and the users will take the rest. The users take 20%, and the developers take 79%. You will need blockchain to verify this. So all parties could verify they actually gain what they are destined to get. Then we will not just, steal your money, because before the blockchain, a centralized system may do this. You only trust them because they are reputable, but you don't know me and I don't know you. Why you should trust us? It's because of blockchain. So that's why we should implement blockchain. So let's get down to the nerdy stuff, the technical details. What's the actual things and code we are going to implement? So first of all, we are going to implement Kryptonite algorithm, which is anti-ASIC miners. So Kryptonite has proven to be a really good algorithm that many coins have adopted, like the infamous Monero, Bytecoin, and Electroneum digital notes. These coins have already implemented Kryptonite algorithm. And why we choose an anti-ASIC algorithm? Because as for ASICs, what is ASIC? It's basically a really powerful miner that all of our PCs couldn't just simply compare with. It's a really powerful integrated circuit that will destroy all of the competition. Like one ASIC may just compare to 10 average PCs. And although it's a fact that those huge companies with huge wealth may still buy lots of CPUs to scale up their competition, it's still rather hard for them. We just higher the threshold for them to dominate the whole market. And decentralized is a thing that we believe. Decentralization is a thing that will make ADGONOS function. So thus, we will want to use an anti-ASIC algorithm. And second of all, how do we implement the so-called mobile reward pool thing? We will use mobile real-time communication framework with servers, like the famous sockets.io framework. Because we have already a really great experience at implementing these things, like we have just built a kind of social network ourselves because using Meteor JavaScript. So as a real-time communication implementation, we may be using other frameworks, but currently the best thing for us, and we think it's Socket.io coupled with Node.js, and I think those two are a great combination for our thing to work. And and we just said why we are capable, because we have great past experience in delivering these products and these implementations.
So for the ICO refers to initial coin offering. And we are doing our ICO at May 15th to July 15th. So those who buy our coins in the first 2 weeks will be granted 25% bonus. And our soft cap means the minimum money we are going to raise is 2,000 Ethereum, which is about 1.2 million US dollar. And our hard cap, which is the maximum amount of money we are going to raise, is 40,000 Ethereum, which is about 24 million US dollar. And for our budget, we are going to spend 40% of our budget in development, and 35% of our budget in the business, in the marketing, to promote our products. And for the other 25%, it will be spent on the maintenance business expense and for the reserve. So we expect that we can deliver our product at June of 2019, which is next year. So it is very fast, and we are confident that we can deliver our product punctually.
So why you should invest in ADGONOS from an investor's standpoint? First of all, we have an expected annual ROI of up to 1100%. Why we are confident that we are projecting this number to you? We are not some Ponzi scheme throwing out these big numbers just to get your attention. Because we are going to replace the mobile advertising market and furthermore the in-app purchase market. Combining the data from all over the world, it's over 143 billion US dollars per year. And this number is only going to grow in the future. Because you just see, there's really many new growing markets like the East Asia market, the African market. All people are using mobile phones right now. Many people doesn't even have a PC, but they will use mobile phones. Take India for example. A statistics that just recently shown that they have even more phones in India than they have toilets in India. So that's just going to show how mobile phones are going to dominate the future communication world of the entire humankind. And at ADGONOS, if we successfully implemented our system, we are going to change it forever. We are going to be the future, the standing ground of all mobile in the future. And we are in line with Warren Buffett's investment philosophy. What Warren Buffett just said is that price is what you pay, but value is what you get. So why we are in line with his words? It's because we really have something. We really have that value that you are rooting for. It's compared to just like Bitcoin compared to Ethereum. Bitcoin is just a currency that's just being used and being trusted because of its proof of work. It has no fundamentals. It has no actual usage behind it other than currency. But for the case of Ethereum, it has something to do with global computational power decentralization and so-called DApps. They claim themselves to be the Web 3.0 because they are going to build apps in a decentralized manner. And ADGONOS, we believe, is going to be the next Ethereum if we execute it well. We will build the next mobile framework for all other phones to be, whether you are on Android phone or iOS or even the dead Windows phone. You could implement our ADGONOS framework, and we will eventually, hopefully, dominate the market, given that we will offer developers the benefit and offer users the thing that they deserve, a better and cleaner experience, and clear from shady data collection. So all in all, we have high expected return and low risk. Every penny you go in our ADGONOS ICO will be a penny to a unified voice against those huge companies such as Facebook, who doesn't really care about your data, who just as Apple, one of Apple's employees put it, they only regard you as a product, they regard you as a byproduct of their conglomerate, of their empire. Google also does the same to you. They put trackers everywhere. They put trackers in their websites, they put trackers in their apps. Everywhere you go, everything you do online is being actively tracked by these companies. And every penny you went into ADGONOS is a voice standing up to them. We are going to say no. We are going to innovate the mobile world as we know it. We are going to make the mobile world open and transparent to everyone, to your phones, to your computers, which we are aiming to do on our roadmap in 2020. If we execute this successfully, we will replace the current problematic things that dominates the whole market right now. And this isn't just for you. The investment, other than the earnings you may get from your investment in ADG, you will actually do something in order to make humankind a better place, to make our world a better world we live in. we should say no to these data collections. We should use that open and transparent data collection policies that you are willing to share, that you could actually see it in the terms and conditions, then just not blindly click the check mark and pass it over whenever you got a new phone. And we are going to build that. We are actually wanting to change the world we live in. So, thanks for watching, and please share our vision, because as you may know, we are still a young and small team, but we are really doing something. And please, if you see this video on the internet or wherever, please share it, share our vision with the cryptocurrency circle, or with the rest of the world, and let people know we have a vision, and we are students who are standing up against these things like Cambridge Analytica. We won't let this ever happen again.